do this in Portland. It's not hard to understand how they're operating, how they're, people can judge for themselves how they're getting away with it, whether or not there's complicit authorities, corrupt authorities. Maybe the authorities are just stupid. I don't like to attribute, I don't want to attribute malevolence where it might be incompetence. So that's an option for people to pursue if they're not well versed in it, if they want to believe that might be the reason. But for whatever reason, these things are taking place, and they've been taking place for a long time.
Yeah, and I totally respect your suggestion that people can either look at it as incompetence or blatant evil, but I will go on the record and I will say that Kate Brown, the governor of Oregon, is a Luciferian pedophile. And if I'm lying about it, she can sue me.
I'd be interested to see more about that. I don't know anything about her.
She is
but
absolutely.
You can see by my face that I wouldn't be surprised. People don't know the extent to this stuff. And that's why when there's, people want to see it done, like people are participating in this through they're living vicariously through their computer screens. Like, that's nice and all, and we need people that are looking into things. We need everybody to do their part, and most people's part isn't like mine, isn't speaking out about actual things that you've seen and people that you know and risking your life. And, not everybody's doing that, and not everybody should, everybody's role is different. And I want to also, about the last time I had like a little brief Instagram live with Isaac Cappy, who I met after I started speaking out. Lots of people are trying to say that's not the case. He's just someone who's reached out to me and has been very kind, and it's a good way for me to let people know I exist, because I'm not very enthusiastic about social media, and I know that I need to participate so people know that I'm okay and know what I'm up to and stuff like that. So I was speaking with him. And I was saying, because of the abuse that I've taken since talking about this, that I wouldn't want survivors to speak out because they would get so much abuse. And that I want to make clear what I meant by that. I wouldn't want anyone to have to go through what I'm going through, which is constant attacks, constant death threats, real life, actual physical threats, all the abuse. I don't want them to go through that, but I do encourage survivors to speak out, because there are, I have to believe that there are people out there that care enough to make a difference. And I do have examples of it in my own life since I've started speaking out. I do have like guardian angels who have come to help me. They're few and far between, but that's to be expected, but I want to believe that there's good in most people, and they will help and protect survivors that speak out and people that want to be adversaries to abuse. So I never wanted to discourage anyone from speaking out. Obviously, I should be a living example. I don't know why people would assume that, because obviously I'm doing everything that I possibly can and sacrificing a lot. Because it's just the most important possible thing that could ever exist is defending children, as far as I'm concerned. But there were people that reached out to me and wanted me to clarify that, because the last time I spoke, I said that my advice to a survivor would have to be to not speak out because of how severe the abuse is. But obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but what I meant by that was I just don't want anyone to have to go through that. It's a lot, and not everybody has the skin to take it. And I see how people can be driven to dark places, and that's what they want. That's why a lot of these people are doing what they're doing and saying what they're saying, is because they want you alienated, they want you depressed, they want you to kill yourself, they want you to not be strong enough to make a difference.
Right. So, do you have any practical suggestions of what people can do that are watching this interview, what they can practically do in this specific situation in Portland?
I think people need to network, and I'm all about people reaching out to me. I'm trying to be a lot more consistent. There are a lot of people that have reached out to me that I haven't gotten back to yet, and just know that I'm going to. My situation is chaotic at best, to try and explain to people. So there is a lot of strength in numbers, and what we have to do is connect with each other in ways like yeah, it's fine connecting publicly and everything on Twitter, but if we can connect and if you reach out to me there, and then we can establish private correspondence and find a way to find out who's legit and who's not, and find a positive way. The internet allows us to do so many things these days, like create a Discord, create a group. I've got all kinds of ideas for how I'm going to try to make more of a difference once I can have some kind of stability in my personal life, and try to get above the attacks in my personal life, which is proving a lot harder than we anticipated. I mean, I guess it's to be expected. But anyway, the internet is going to allow us to connect and for us to establish a community of people that are educated on this subject. We share the knowledge that we have to a point where we have a group of people that is educated enough on this subject to where we can make an actual block of people that know enough and they know the facts, and they're not being fed misinformation. They're not armed with false facts. And if we can do that, if we can establish a community that's strong enough, we can then be not individuals that can be attacked. We can be a group that has a singular mission that has nothing to do with any of these other distractions, that has a primary goal, and then we can move as a unit. And I think then we'll be more successful, because they can knock off a person, they can kill a person, they can discredit a person, they can make a person kill themselves, but they can't do that. It sounds cheesy, but they can't do that to an idea. They can't do that to a movement. And you see all these groups that are weaponizing their ideas in ways that are negative, that a lot of people might understand what I'm referencing. Like if you're talking about political groups that go to protests, and they've weaponized their ideologies in ways that are impacting our society negatively. And to fight back against these groups, we're taking the wrong lessons. Like, people are trying to go, oh, well, they're attacking someone for what they say online and getting that person fired, so let's do the same to them, let's get them fired. That's not the right lesson to learn. The right lesson to learn is that once you have mobilized a group with a singular mission, and our mission would be one that is actually valuable to society and could actually help, children, then we could actually make a difference. I think we need to mobilize a group that can have a singular mission and be less susceptible to attack once we have that in place. And that's going to be something that I'm going to work towards finding ways to build once I have the means to do so.
It would be great to have a march of hundreds, if not thousands of people.
That's just a start.
With
a march.
Signs that say "Stop the pedophilia" in Portland. I mean, that would be awesome.
That's what I envision, and it's doable. We could do it. And I have a lot of ideas about how it could be done once I'm able to get the means. And that's what I'm envisioning on the horizon. So when people are wondering about what I'm doing, these are the things that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about, everybody wants instantaneous things. Like, they'd be happy to see, like, some people would be happy to see me, dead in a ditch, if it meant that I did what they wanted me to do in the moment to confirm their suspicions, or to, there's a lot of people that want me to do a lot of stuff that would jeopardize my safety and would make it so my impact is far lesser than what I want it to be. Okay, so there's a lot of instantaneous gratification that could be gotten if I caved into pressure here or there. But my ideas are bigger than that. I have an idea in mind for actually making a dent in this. And I don't honestly care if my reputation or my personal life goes down in flames for this cause, as long as I can go down knowing that I made it impossible for one child to be abused. If I knew that I made it impossible for that to happen for one kid, a kid that was like me when I was abused as a kid, So I have a singular vision, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make that vision a reality in my lifetime.
Wow, that is That's very inspiring, because I think that's the type of heart we all need to have. We need to do whatever we know we can do to protect these little children, and to, like you said, even if you knew that you could just save one, it would be worth everything.
And what do they have on us? You know, like, think about it. Why are they able to operate, but we're not able to mobilize? It's because they're organized. And as sick and disgusting as what they believe in is, they have been able to infiltrate all aspects of our society, and they have numbers, and they have organization in whatever way. You know, lots of people know about secret societies. Lots of people know about underground nefarious operations and things like that. But we are not being smart enough to take the lessons that there are more of us than there are of them. And there are more, I have to believe that there are more good people than there are them. And the lessons we can take from the way that they've been able to get away with this for so long is that we can organize, we can, become a force that is unstoppable. And at the very least, we can become a force that isn't able to be picked off one by one and knocked off one by one and discredited one by one. And, everything that's been happening to anybody who tries to oppose these people, we're feeding into the way that they know how to destroy us. And we keep doing it over and over again. So I want to try and unite people that believe that there is nothing more important than protecting children, and become an unstoppable force to try and battle this immovable object,
Absolutely. So I know with Twitter, the way it's set up, sometimes when I go to a Twitter person that I'm trying to contact, it doesn't allow me to send them I guess it's called
my Twitter should be open. Anybody should be able to direct message me. If that's not I've gotten so many that I think that's the case.
Okay.
But if it's not the case, anybody can reach out to me and let me figure out how it is the case. And that's just how I'm operating for now. Once I can try and get some kind of stability, I'm going to find better ways to communicate with everyone and better ways to start building this thing. But for now, that's an easy way to reach me.
Okay, so so people can go directly to your Twitter and reach you right now. That'll be a good central hub. And what is your handle on Twitter so everyone knows how to find you?
Vegan Mikey.
Vegan Mikey. Okay, and I'll also spell it out for everyone below the video. Okay, cool. So yeah, so guys, I mean, you who are watching this, we don't have to just sit on our couches and type at the computer. We can really do some practical activist type stuff for literally the greatest cause that you can think of, protecting innocent little children. So I want to encourage everyone that's watching this video to please go to Vegan Mikey's Twitter and get in contact with him, and let's start building this network, because he's there in the area. I don't know where he is right now, but he's the point man that can do stuff in Portland, and we can get people organized and start doing this stuff. I mean, why are we allowing all these other activists to do their stuff? There's really kind of, I don't know. There's so many people that are out there protesting or doing activist stuff for causes that are kind of dumb, really. And we're talking about protecting little children. I mean, this
and it has to stop. Anybody who knows what's going on knows that there is no better time than now, because any suffering that can be prevented is suffering that should have been prevented, and especially if you're talking about children. So there is no better time than now to make this end, because any night that I lose sleep knowing that it's happening is a night that they should lose sleep knowing that we're coming after them.
Absolutely. Well, I'm pretty much done with the interview. I just want to do one thing real quickly. This horn that I have, it's a Jewish shofar, but it was always used by ancient Israel as a call to war. And I really think we need this call to war. So I'm just going to blow this thing.
That's beautiful. That's fitting. I love it.
All right. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate the interview.
Absolutely. Keep in touch.
Yeah. Shalom.
Nice to meet you, man.